Hey, what's good, y'all? Fuzion here, back with another reaction video. Today we're going to be talking about this NBA All-Star Weekend and how the overall weekend went as a whole. I'm not really going to break down the the actual dunk contest, three-point contest, all that other shit, or just the actual game itself. I'm just going to talk about the whole entire weekend just as a whole. I think there's a lot of stuff that happened that I feel like didn't go as expected. LeBron, he sat. Ant-Man, he sat. I do think that there wasn't a lot of basketball being played on the actual during the actual All-Star game because it was a tournament format. It was up like the first team to score 40, and then they'd have an intermission. Then another team would go. They'd play against whoever to score 40, and then intermission, and then they had to do some stuff with the inside the NBA guys, which I think is good. Don't get me wrong, but there was different. There was definitely multiple times during that game or during the whole program where I'm sitting here like, okay, there's not a lot of basketball still being played. Now, back when it was just a regular format, East versus West, or when they did do the drafts, whatever, like, the problem was they weren't playing hard at all. They weren't being that competitive. This problem is that they still were not playing, but that's because they didn't have a lot of time to play. I understand the format change. I think there was a decent idea. I think it needs to be cleaned up a little bit. I wouldn't say fix all the way because I do think there is something with that tournament style thing where it could work. I think there's a possibility where that could work. I don't know about 5-on-5 though. Could there be a possibility of a 3-on-3 All-Star tournament where you can have multiple games running, where you can go up to 20 or 40 or just like whatever the hell it is. You draft one guard and two bigs, one guard, a small forward and big, just whatever. I don't know how you would make it even, but there would need to be a way for you to make that work. I think there's a possibility where that could work. A 3-on-3 tournament instead of a 5-on-5 that lasts forever, but really doesn't because it can end up pretty quick. And then once the game is over, you're got some other thing who it really just takes you out of the actual reason that we're there for the All-Star game. Now, again, this is more so for fans. It's not really for the players, but they should understand that it is for the fans, which is us. I'm going to say us. And give some sort of effort. I'm talking to you, Wimby and Chris Paul. During the skills challenge, there were some interesting things that they did, which technically isn't against the rules and technically isn't a horrible thing. But after what has been said about this All-Star game, how you guys are not taking it serious, how there's no defense being played, or are they even actually trying to win? Just like whatever the fuck that they be saying. Why are you then going to take that chance to continue to mess around, so to speak? So, to me, again, I'm not speaking for everybody. I'm speaking for Fuzion. For Fuzion, for myself, that's a bad look. And it could be misconstrued as a bad look. And it will cause more fans to not care about this shit. We're almost at Pro Bowl level, y'all. The All-Star game is almost at Pro Bowl level. So the dunk contest was okay. I think it's officially turning into the Matt McClung show, which I'm not mad at because it's the blame on the NBA players. I'm seeing a lot of people saying that he should be picked up for a... No, that's the problem. And I think that is... If they're going to do all non-NBA players, and that includes G League players, that includes YouTubers, that includes I don't know, just those random content creators that do a lot of dunking from that Dunk King show, just like whatever the fuck, then they should go all the way in and not include NBA players. This should be a Friday event if they want to do that. If they want to have the Mac McClung dunk contest, they can have the Mac McClung dunk contest. But I don't think the pros should be in it because they're not trying to be in it. I'm not saying that it's all his fault, but I will say there was a precedent set historically during the NBA. You had a lot of big names, superstars, some not so big names, joining the dunk contest. Of course, you had Mike, Dominique Wilkins, Vince Carter, Kobe. I think T-Mac did it 1 year or 2 years. I can't fully remember. I do remember him playing against Vince Carter doing the dunk contest. Paul George, John Wall, known names. Of course, they did have some notoriety going into it, but they increased their notoriety once they did do the dunk contest. There should be no reason that Blake Griffin only did one dunk contest. There was a time where LeBron said he would do the dunk contest. In my opinion, he should have done that dunk contest. I'm not saying he was going to win. I'm not saying it would have been a competitive dunk contest. I'm not saying anything like that. The whole thing is for the fans. Fans want to see their favorite player in these events. And he said he was going to do it. He did not end up doing it. So it caused, I don't want to say it caused a shift, but I will say that that is where the superstar or player with a lot of fans that does have the athletic ability to do those dunks don't join it. So you don't get the John Morants. So you don't get the Russes. I think Russell Westbrook could have been a decent dunker. I don't know if he is a great dunk contest dunker. We don't know. But he has great in-game dunks. But we'll never know. Because, again, the precedent of superstars and stars being in these events isn't set. Because at one point, it was. So just some small things there. Again, I'm not saying it is all on LeBron. I will say that there was a piece where I think if he wanted to and really wanted to show everybody and be the true face of the league, which he is and was, but it would have put that All-Star game, the All-Star weekend, in more of a way better light, I think, in the long run. I think you would have seen more stars in it or more known players in it. At the end of the day, people will watch the dunk contest. People will watch the dunk contest. People will want to see who is in the dunk contest, who is in the All-Star game, who is in the three-point contest. But if you're not a fan, or if you don't, the casual fans of the All-Star, of the dunk contest, of the three-point contest, the girlfriends, wives, friends, or whatever the fuck of the fan who used to watch the All-Star game just to watch, is no longer there. My fiance did not want to watch this shit, and I understand because that shit was boring. I had to force myself to watch it. I was like, man, there's so much stuff I'd rather be doing than watching these guys play or do whatever the fuck, because it just wasn't that entertaining, in my opinion. There were sparks of competitiveness. There were sparks of actively trying to put on a show. But then there were times where they did revert back to their usual, this is still an all-star exhibition game. I'm not trying on the defensive end. I'm going to take interesting shots on the offensive end. Just whatever. That being said, a positive that I do like about this new format, it does give the rising stars a chance to show up and sort of make a name for themselves more so in the limelight of the actual All-Star event. I don't think a lot of people will watch the Rising Stars Challenge. I believe that one's the one on Friday. And it sucks because I think there's some talent and there's some good play there and enjoyable play that if it was pushed to the forefront, I think more people would care. But again, it's the Rising Stars, it's the All-Star weekend, and it's the NBA, who is losing a lot of legal viewership. Again, I personally don't think that the viewership is down. I think viewership, legal viewership is down. I don't think people are buying the league pass or getting on Max or just like wherever the hell to watch your game anymore. So that view isn't being tallied properly. It is the Streamies. It is the there's two other apps that I just cannot think of right now that is just big and known for that. So I don't think that the viewership is going down, but I do think the All-Star viewership specifically is going down. I think that's true. But the overall NBA, I just do not think that. But that's pretty much all I got on the All-Star game. Sort of just want to give you guys my thoughts. I will upload another video today. I do have a double upload plan for you. It is another first listen, 12 by Westside Gun. So I'll probably get that out to you guys later. But let's go ahead and get started with the reaction. The world team versus the Team USA, so to speak. Yeah. If you watched the game, then you saw what happened. It was a lot of shooting threes. It was a lot of late rotations on the defensive end. There were times where they just would shoot a long ball, miss it, or whatever. Somebody get the rebound, just throw it down court for the easy dunk or layup. Someone gets the ball, throws it down again, easy dunk or layup. There was a good 3 or 4 possession sequence of that. Sort of wasn't that entertaining, in my opinion. Here's a couple things. Just about Draymond, where I think I understand what he means. I think he should have kept it to himself, or that should have been a podcast conversation. Because it'll make Draymond sound bitter, which he may be, but how do I describe this? This is not a game to Draymond, to a lot of these players. This is their livelihood. This is their job. This is their main passion. This is something they've been doing for life. Something that they have had to enjoy for life. Or if not enjoyed, had to put up with it for life. You have the dream to get to the All-Star game. Anybody who has played any basketball, who has wanted to become a professional, me included, wanted to get to that All-Star game. If you played NBA 2K, despite what you may think about it, if you've played NBA Live, if you've any of that where you've had to do a full season so you can get to the All-Star game, or half a season, just like, you know what I mean. If you play my career, you gotta have a certain amount of stats to get to that All-Star game. Imagine you're playing against rookies in the Rising Star Challenge. You beat these rookies. You're automatically pushed to the All-Star game on Sunday. Me, I'm just saying I am Draymond for this this example. We win so many games. I'm averaging 15, 10, and 8. We're second in the West. We're playing damn near perfect. I'm playing my ass off. I'm bleeding every day. I'm sore every day. I don't make it. That is because you want these young guys there instead, because of a ratings issue. Just like, so I guess I understand where he is coming from there. I do think this was the wrong place to bring that up because I don't think you're going to get a fair conversation with what you said. Because there's a thought process behind that. I give Draymond Green the benefit of the doubt a lot of the times because I understand what type of player that he is. And I think a lot of these fans act like they understand what he is. Draymond is an energy guy. He is the glue guy. He is the anchor. He is the dirty work guy. Why do you not expect him to say wild shit as the dirty work guy? Dennis Rodman said interesting things. And it may not be what he said with words, but with what he's wearing, with certain things. Zach Randolph, he may not say certain things, but you know, there's things that you can expect from these players, and they be surprised when the players do exactly what you expect them to do. Draymond is going to call out something that, in my opinion, makes sense, but I think he could have said that for his podcast. That's not the here nor there. I wonder what their reaction. This is not Los Angeles, but you're in California, and Magic Johnson is not at the All-Star game? There's a difference between the Lakers, Clippers, Sacramento, and Golden State, obviously, about fans, star players, culture, all that type shit. They're all in California, but yeah, you know. If you're in California, you got to have Magic Johnson at your shit. Anything having to involve the NBA in California, Magic Johnson should have got a call. Maybe he did get a call and he just decided not to go. Maybe I'm just talking out my ass. But either way, now that he did mention it, that is something that should be talked about, that should be mentioned. Just a thought. Clear, but I'm going to point that out again. That's an important piece. That was an important piece. If LeBron didn't want to do the dunk contest, he should not have said anything about the fucking dunk contest. Since you said something about the dunk contest, you said you were going to do it, you should have done it. Since you didn't, it has become a precedent that superstars, NBA faces, whatever the fuck, does not need to participate in these. Subconsciously, that is what is being shown. And now you're seeing John Morant say, oh, shit, I'll do it. Giannis said, I'll do it if you'll do it. Who knows now? Who knows? A precedent has been set. Someone needs to break that. Let me just say something just real quick, just so it doesn't get misconstrued, which I think it could. I don't think it's bad that the Rising Star Kids players were there on Sunday. It forced them to bring energy, brought new faces to the game. There's good stuff that happened there. But should not have got to this point. More than they did previously, but that's not a lot. If you watch Dead in Hip Hop, one of my favorite YouTube channels, by the way, one of the panelists, his name is Mike Seatown, shout out to him. He was talking about a rapper. I know who it is. I don't want to say the name because I don't know, nigga. I don't want to. But he said that this rapper was shit. Now he got a little bit better. Now he's a booger. What that means is they were showing zero effort. Now they're showing 20% effort. It may look like more, but either way, it's still not effort. So yes, there was an improvement on the competitiveness. Players did try to actively win towards the end there. I do think that adding um, something that forces players to account for their own ego is important. That's why I think that a one-on-one or a three-on-three competition will help force you to, because you can't really hide when doing three-on-three. You can sort of hide on 5-on-5 on like the defensive end and the offensive end. You can help close out here and there. You can get some open layups because somebody's lazy on the defensive end. Whatever. But on a 3-on-3, you got to be able to play. That will force players to play. And I think that would overall improve who is going to be at the All-Star game. I think there could be less roster spots. That could be a conversation. I don't know. Hungry. He's hungry. He's going to take the chance when it's there, and he's going to try to go for it. And he's won it. And he has a name now because of these. Why can't these other...
We answered the question.
Yeah, they answered the question. Again, I think I understand what Kendrick Perkins is trying to say and trying to get across. And I think this happens a lot on First Take. They're talking past each other. I think they are understanding the point to a certain extent, but they're not deep diving into the point because I think they agree at the end of the day. I think that's what's sort of happening here. But in closing, I do think that the actual All-Star game, this one did improve on the competitiveness. I do think that adding the Rising Stars forced them to improve the competitiveness. But I don't think this should be a long-term fix. I think that the All-Stars that made it to the All-Star team need to improve, or they just can't be chosen anymore. I think the NBA needs to put their foot down and be like, I don't care who you voted for. Fans, I don't care who you voted for. Players, they're not trying to play hard. We're going to pick players that people do like and will play hard. Norman Powell would have played hard. He got something to prove. LaMelo, he would have been fun to watch. And I think he would have played hard. A lot of these younger stars, and not technically the rising stars, but the Ja Morants, the Jalen Brunsons, the LaMelo Balls. I think they want to compete, and I think they can compete, and I think they do compete. Once you get these old geezers out of here, then I think that shit gonna be fixed. Someone used to call out Jokic and Luka, telling them they need to step their shit up. Jokic did improve a little bit. He showed a little bit more effort. He was playing like he usually does on a regular season game. So you know how that sort of doesn't look like a lot of effort, but that's just how he plays. So you see improvement. I think you see it coming. I think that the 3-point contest, Steph Curry needs to be in it. If not Steph, Clay needs to be in it. Luckily, Damian Lillard, Jalen Brunson, Tyler Hero, and I'm missing 2 other named guys that have a pretty decent name in the NBA. Did shoot and did participate. So I believe that they're doing what they're supposed to do. The 3-point shooters are trying to do what they're supposed to do. Steph, I think he should be in it more. I understand he may not want to do it every year, but he should be there. Clay, he should be there. Just some names that do need to be thrown out. But that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. How would you fix the All-Star game? Should we just wipe the All-Star game out all the way, or should we change it up somewhere? Leave it in the comments. I'll see you guys later. Peace.